first of all, very rare. That there may be millions of enlightened persons, persons who know that they are a spirit soul, and there may be millions of mixed devotees whose devotion is mixed with fruitive activities, speculative knowledge, or mystic powers. But those who are engaged in the cultivation of other spiritual benedictions, up to and including liberation, cannot be considered pure devotees because they have some selfish desire besides offering devotional service to the Lord. Remember, the definition of pure devotional service is anyabhilashita shunyam, that there is no mixture of other kinds of desires, because the devotee is so satisfied, so spiritually pleased, is in so much ecstasy just by offering devotional service to the Lord, that he has no other desire, he has no other need. Try to understand how this works, okay? If I gave this example so many times, if I have $1 million, then I'm not concerned with $5 and $10 and $100 problems. Okay, I have $1 million, so all those small problems are automatically taken care of. So if I have the bliss, the ecstasy of pure devotional service, this ecstasy is so fulfilling. See, this is the thing that's not directly mentioned in these verses. But we see the behavior of these devotees, that even though they have the offer of such material benedictions or even liberation, they say, oh, no thanks, I don't really need that. So what kind of state does a person have to be in before they can act like that? You see? A person who is in pure devotional service, in the state of prema, they are so much in love with the Lord that they are completely satisfied. In fact, their satisfaction is overflooding from their hearts in the form of ecstatic emotions, that they don't need anything else. They don't want anything else. Anything that would distract them from their service would be a step down for them. They don't want it. They reject it, actively reject it, even liberation. Because basically if you accept any form of liberation, you have to change your situation, change your body, adjust to so many new circumstances and so on and so on. And this is a distraction. They view this as, I'd have to interrupt my hearing and chanting to travel to the Vaikuntha planets and accept liberation? Oh, no. No, let me just stay here and continue my devotional service. So try to understand the state of consciousness of the pure devotee is that he's so absorbed in his service. His service is such a source of profound pleasure for him that he doesn't, he thinks of even liberation as being an interruption. It's a distraction. It's like, oh, I don't need that. No, I just want to keep what I'm doing. So a person in that state of consciousness, they have to be so overflooded with transcendental bliss that they're like, oh, no, I don't even want to take time out to go to the spiritual planets. Thanks, Lord, but, I'm okay. Just let me keep worshiping you and glorifying you and hearing about your wonderful qualities. That's all a pure devotee wants to do. So it follows, if you think about it, that they must be in so much bliss that even the concept of liberation does not appear attractive to them. It's like, liberation? Take it or leave it. Therefore, devotional service surpasses all liberation in the satisfaction that it offers to the soul. That's the meaning of this. Think about it. How else would it be possible? We heard shloka after shloka after shloka of the devotees rejecting liberation, offer of liberation, even from the Lord himself. And we heard shloka after shloka after shloka of Lord Shiva and Lord Indra and great authorities like that, saying that the pure devotees are so satisfied that they don't even want liberation. They don't care for liberation. Even the Vedas themselves, they were saying like that. So we can understand that the pure devotee is very, very rare, because Krishna does not give this benediction to just anybody. He only gives it to those who are completely pure in heart. What does it mean to be pure in heart? It means that a person has no selfish desire. They're not trying to get anything out of their devotional service. They don't care for material benefits like religiosity, pious activities, economic development, sense gratification, wealth, power, fame, beauty, knowledge, renunciation, or any mystic opulence or mystical power or yogic abilities. They don't care for even liberation. Now, what to speak of the other kinds of liberation? They especially don't care to become one with God, because that would be the end of their devotional service. If you become one with God, then how can you worship God? You have to be separate from God, have a separate individuality, a separate identity. This is required for devotional service. So the devotees never accept or even consider merging into the existence of the Lord. They view that as hellish, because they would have to completely give up their devotional service. And even the other forms of liberation, they're sort of like, no, I don't really need that. Because they're so satisfied, they're so ecstatic, they're so filled with pleasure by their pure devotional service. Now again, there's a distinction between pure devotional service and mixed devotional service. And you might say, well, pure devotional service is just like regular mixed devotional service, only more so. But no, actually there is a substantial difference in quality between the two. Someone in mixed devotional service, where they still have some desire for fruitive activities or empirical, speculative, philosophical knowledge, or yogic powers and stuff like that, different kind of material opulences or liberation, that person is still hanging on to some selfish desire. They still want to benefit personally by their offering service to the Lord. So Krishna does not bestow his ultimate benediction. Krishna does not accept them. He does not appear to them. He does not. He keeps himself in the background. He doesn't come out and say, "Okay, here I am. I accept your service." Rather, he accepts their service through some other authority or agent, like the guru, or the scriptures, or the process of varnashram dharma, the social system of the Vedic civilization. But he himself does not appear. He does not give them darshan. This is very significant, that when the devotee becomes absolutely pure, then Krishna appears. Up until then, he keeps himself hidden. He likes that game a lot. He likes to hide and watch everything. So when he is finally pleased with the devotee, then he comes out and he says, "Okay, here I am. I accept your devotional service. Now you're a pure devotee." And what's the difference? Before then, the devotee may have some idea of his eternal spiritual form and identity, but it's not absolutely clear. But once Krishna appears and reveals himself, he also reveals the eternal identity of his devotee. And because when you see Krishna, you don't see just Krishna. You see Krishna, his qualities, his activities, his abode, and the particular pastime or the particular service in which you are engaged with him, in which you are related with him eternally, then it also becomes manifest to your inner vision. It may not happen in a flash. It may take some time for all this to be revealed. But yet the appearance of Krishna, Krishna Darshan, is the milestone, is the opening of the gate of liberation. So if these devotees are being offered liberation and they're rejecting it, then they must have something that's already as good as liberation. You see? If somebody offers me $1,000 and I say, no, I already have $1 million, thank you, but I don't need that. See? So the Lord is offering these devotees liberation